Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Victoria Playpark Parent Orientation today. We'd like to ask that everybody please refrain from taking photos or filming our presentation today. Thank you very much for your cooperation. My name is Genevieve Best, and I'm the Director of English Studies with Victoria Educational Organization. And I'm originally from Newfoundland, Canada. And I've been practicing early childhood education for over 20 years. And I used to be a playgroup teacher myself. I have two children, and they've both gone through the Victoria system, from playgroup to the kindergarten, on to the primary and secondary school. And now they're both in the diploma years program at Victoria Shanghai Academy. So let's start with the history and highlights of Victoria Educational Organization. So Victoria just celebrated its 56th anniversary. We just had our 56th graduation, and we have 7 IB kindergarten campuses from ages 2 to 6 years old, and 3 playgroup campuses from ages 8 months to 3 years old. We practice a whole language approach with 3 native speaking teachers in the classroom, and all of our teachers are professional qualified teaching staff. In 2003, we adopted our curriculum as the IB Primary Years Program curriculum. And then in 2014, we took on Teachers College Reading and Writing Project from Columbia University. And then in 2018, we entered into a pilot research project to take on Maker-Centered Learning with Harvard's Graduate School of Education. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about these 3 programs in our curriculum. So these pictures are all related to our IB Primary Years program. At Victoria, we believe in the IB philosophy because we believe the children should practice using an inquiry-based approach to learning. As the children are in the foundation stages of learning, we want the children to develop skills in problem solving, thinking critically, and to have ownership over their learning. If the children continue on with the IB program, the primary years program sets them up then on through the primary school up to year 5, where then they take on the middle years program, and then in year 11, they change to the diploma years program. Designed to support the young children in becoming independent, curious, and proficient readers and writers, we believe that the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project works very well with the IB curriculum, as the children are given a chance to decide what they want to read about and a choice of what they want to write about. This program really equips the children to go along with the inquiry process because they share their findings in various ways by referencing books related to the topic they're learning, writing about it, and they also have a chance to present their knowledge, their communication skills to others about what they learned. Our Maker-Centered Learning that we took on as a pilot research project accumulated with a playbook put out for early childhood educators around the world. So even young children can make a difference in having an impact on the world as long as they're equipped with the right critical thinking skills. With the Maker-Centered Learning, it has elements of STEAM, science, technology, arts, engineering, and math, which are already present in our IB curriculum, but it goes further to helping teachers develop child-friendly thinking routines to go along with their inquiry process. So what this might look like is if a teacher were to take the children out on a trip to explore the MTR. So perhaps they're doing a unit of inquiry called How the World Works, and they're looking at transport systems in their community. And of course, Hong Kong has a lovely MTR system. So then they would take the children out to look at the MTR and how it works and how it connects people from one place to the other. But then they would also talk to the children using a thinking routine like think, feel, care. So afterwards, when the children are, talking about everything, presenting everything they learned about the MTR, then the teacher might ask them questions like, well, what do you think other people are experiencing on the MTR? And then the children stop to think about the other people that were also on the MTR, and perhaps how the other people didn't all have seats. And then they start to ask questions about, oh, how about the driver? Did he have a seat? What does he feel like? Is he feeling tired? And they start to care about other people on the train. And the IB curriculum talks a lot about being global citizens or responsible citizens. So this is where the children develop attitudes like empathy for others. And this all comes into play along with, the playbook and the maker-centered learning, with the children developing skills in creating, inquiring, tinkering. So we found it works very well with the inquiry process. So you might be asking yourself, well, how is this useful if my child does not go on to study an IB curriculum? Well, with our trilingual IB primary use program, we aim to prepare the children to transition to any primary school in Hong Kong. We really want to prepare the children to be confident, trilingual learners that can go on to any curriculum. So as you see here on the screen, our children, some of them go on to Victoria Shanghai Academy, which is our affiliated three-train IB, PYP, MYP, and DP program. Or they may go on to other international schools, Chinese International School, English Schools Foundation, International Schools Foundation, or you may see also that they're going on to other local schools, DBS or Polong Kok, St. Paul's Co-ed Primary School. So we often do a survey of our students who have gone on to these primary schools to make sure that we are equipping them with the right skills. And our feedback is quite good about the children being prepared and feeling confident in the various areas to go on to the primary school. So we're quite proud of our curriculum with that. And here you can see an example of our enrollment figures, where our graduates go on to the primary schools. And this information is updated on our website. So at any time you can also access this information on the Victoria website, Victoria Educational Organization. So let's talk about our 3 playgroup centers. So we have our Victoria Playpark, which I'm in today at Harcourt House in Wan Chai. We also have our Victoria Playpark in K11 Musea in Tsim Sha Tsui, and our Victoria Nursery Campus in Upper Cornhill. Our playgroups cater for children ages 8 months to 3 years old. We have a small group setting with 8 to 10 children, accompanied by 1 caregiver each in the classroom. And we have qualified native speaking teachers. So we offer a total language immersion program. And our curriculum is based off the early years foundation stage curriculum from the United Kingdom, along with elements of other frameworks, such as the National Association for Education of Young Children from the United States, the Australian and the Scandinavian frameworks. We really want the children to enjoy their education at an early age. We want them to have a good first experience. This is the foundation stage of their education, their first experience. And we hope that they will continue to enjoy their education all the way through school and become lifelong learners. So we want to instill a love of learning at an early age and provide the children with a balanced whole child holistic development. We have a curriculum with 3 core domains: personal, social, and emotional, communication and language, and physical development. And our equipment in the campus is very carefully selected for an early years environment. Our 8 to 12-month-old children would be engaging in learning centers to support the development of their sensory motor skills. And so therefore, they would need a lot of activities with touch and feel or soft toys. And the 12 months to 24-year-old months classroom have activities that have learning resources that foster the children's independent skills and give them a feeling of autonomy. And then our 24-month to 36-month-old class is about transitioning the children really to hone in on those independent skills, to separate a little bit, to prepare for the kindergarten, to go through that process where they can be more independent and also work collaboratively with other young children. We're very proud of our Victoria Playpark Harcourt campus design. It won an award for the international design a competition under the interior design in the institutional category in 2018. In Hong Kong, the average play area for children is 2 square meters. And we have a large play area that strengthens children's motor skills, play skills, and social skills. And the physical environment has a strong impact on both young children's learning and development. It's very important that the environment you choose for your children supports your child's growing physical, emotional, social, and cognitive development. And all of this wood that you see here in this picture has been brought over from the United States. So one of my favorite things about walking into the park is that sometimes you can get a whiff of that nice wood smell. It's almost like you're in the woods in the United States. So it's very lovely. The children have a lot of fun in this area. So now we'd like to talk about the philosophy of education. So founded in 2018, Victoria Playpark offers 3 play group programs that all focus on play-based learning to develop the children's social, emotional, cognitive, physical, and language skills, as I've mentioned. And we aim to encourage the children's learning and development and develop these skills through sensory play and multilingual immersion. We have 3 key learning outcomes. I can explore, I can speak, I can feel, and I care. And our key learning outcomes promote holistic development and equip our children who are interested to move on to our Victoria Educational Organization kindergarten curriculum. I can explore will lead into our IB primary years program. I can speak with communication skills leads into our Teachers College reading and writing project. And the children get a story every session when they come in. They have lots of opportunities to communicate with their peers and with the teachers. And then I feel and I care relates to our maker-centered learning. So that rich learning where the children have a hands-on experience to touch and feel and explore and engage in all of the activities. So let's see some of what these activities might look like from these young learners in our pictures here. So as I mentioned, I can explore our activities enhancing physical development, motor skills, as well as the cognitive skills. I can speak, encouraging the children's communication and language skills through vocabulary, storytelling, and interaction with others. And I feel and I care is related to the socio-emotional skills being developed, fostering the children's independence and giving them a confidence and enhancing their curiosity. So the children are very curious learners. They want to explore everything. So we have a variety of activities that we're also going to tell you about. And all of these activities are supported by a qualified teacher and one caregiver for every child in the classroom. So we want the children to feel secure and supported, and then they're more apt to learn and feel more confident to get engaged, just like we would if we were to try something new. We want to have that boost of confidence and also feel secure to start something new. We have 6 stations in 3 languages. So as you can see, we have 3 programs targeting 3 different age groups. So the infants is 8 to 12 months, the toddlers 12 to 24 months, and the big kids class, we call it, is 24 to 36 months. So at each station in our, and we have 6 stations: art, motor, music, sensory, kitchen or cookery, and of course the big play park. So each of these stations have play-based activities to strengthen the children's development in various domains. So to support the children to acquire the 3 languages, we use a play-based immersion approach. And as you see here on the screen, the infant program has three stations with 25 minutes each, 3 sessions with 25 minutes each. And then the toddlers and the big kids class have 3 stations with 30 minutes each. So you might think, okay, what does this look like? So your children come into the campus for an hour and a half, and then they go into different areas of learning or different rooms. So they might go into the art room first, and then they may have an English teacher in that art room for 30 minutes. And then the English teacher would take them over to the motor room where they would practice fine and gross motor skills through various activities. and there would be a Cantonese teacher perhaps in there. And then the next room would be the music and movement room that they would go to, and there would be a Putongwa teacher in there. And then the next time your children come into the campus, then they would access the next 3 rooms: sensory, kitchen, doing cookery practice, and the play park also. And each time it's a whole immersion approach. So 1 teacher in each station. So we want the children to be supported, to enjoy each station, to have a variety of activities, and they can do that with the support of the teacher and the caregiver at each of these stations. And the children learn through exploration, independently or collaboratively, with the guidance of the teacher and the caregiver. We also want the children to support the children to transfer the skills they have acquired with each station to your home. So you will have lots of activities and ideas that you can also take home to practice. And some of the targeted skills will lay the future development for the children to continue on to their education. For example, in the motor room, the children may be practicing fine motor skills and gross motor skills that will help with their hand-eye coordination. And our play park, we usually change it by themes. I'll talk about the themes in a minute. And they have a lot of role play. There's a swings, there's a slide, there's a nice sand area, and that's also a chance for them to run around and socialize with the other children in the class. So this is examples of our monthly themes. So we have a different theme every month, and we want the children to organize their knowledge by using these things. And for example, here on the screen, you'll see in November. So November, they're practicing farm animals. So in the play park, we have a big dome. They may make it into a mini barn. They may throw some farm animals into the sand pit. When they get into, the children get into the music and movement, of course, they'll be playing games and activities, singing Old MacDonald Had a Farm. When they get into the sensory room, they may have some mud, or it may be cookie crumbs all crushed up for the children to pretend that the animals are playing in the mud. So there's lots of different activities like this. One of my favorite is, of course, December, Christmas. And you really have that festive feeling in the campus where the children are doing activities all related to Christmas, arts and crafts, to take home to decorate, Christmas songs in the music room, dress up and role play, and decorating the Christmas tree. And so each month has a different activity. Another one we have here on the screen is April, springtime. The children may be planting vegetables, seeds to pretend they're making vegetables, doing lots of arts and crafts with rabbits and chickens and eggs, and so it's a lot of fun. So the children are never bored. There's always something different to do with the children, and the parents can gain a lot of ideas also to take home with them. We attend to the children's developmental details. So our learning and activities focus on the developmental stages that the children are in. And these pictures are an example of the stages of the fine motor control. So the children, by grasping and playing with various objects, they're developing their fine motor skills to help the muscles in their hands get ready for writing, perhaps, when they approach the kindergarten curriculum. Apart from teaching your child, we also document the children's development. So here on the screen, you'll see for the infants 8 months to 12 months, the teachers would be collecting a variety of pictures to make a photo collage for the parents to take after they finish that stage. And in the toddlers, a big kids class, once every 4 months, the teachers will prepare a portfolio. So what does this portfolio look like? It looks like a picture of your children attempting to do an activity or achieving an activity, along with the learning objectives and some comments at the bottom to talk about your children's achievements. We do recommend that parents stay for a period of time so that they can build up this portfolio and see the children's development across the various programs that we have, from infant all the way to the big kids class. And the teachers are always around to discuss any developmental markers that you want to talk about, milestones, any questions that you have. So usually the teachers will greet at the door when you're coming into the campus. Of course, you have your teachers during your lesson that will be around to interact and engage with you and your child throughout the lesson. And then also at dismissal time, the teachers are always around. So if you ever have any questions, you have a chance to also discuss with our qualified staff. Of course, we value the parental engagement in our campus. It's key actually to your children progressing. So we do want to support the parents. We want the parents to get involved in the activities and support your child so they do feel secure as they're learning new activities, and then take these skills on home to home. We also offer parenting workshops and seminars delivered by early childhood experts. And so we want to support not only your children, but also you as parents or the caregivers that come with your children. So these are some of the previous experts talks we've had over the past year. So you can see we had one on helping children develop their self-confidence, tackling children's social emotional issues, successful parenting, and healthy emotional habits for balanced development. So we hope that the parents will also come and enjoy. Hope to see you at some of these expert talks. And then perhaps you can gain some insightful tips on parenting or ask some questions to the experts that are there. And then we're also soon offering another expert talk in the form of a webinar on the 21st of August. And this is being held by Professor Doris Chang, and her topic is Play is Learning and How to Facilitate Beneficial Play. And you'll receive an invitation by email to this talk. But if you haven't provided your contact details with us, or you didn't tick to receive the information, no worries. You can just please contact us. At the end, I'll give you our contact information, and you can write to them and tell them that you're interested. Thank you. So how do we prepare the children to move on from the play park or play groups to our rigorous kindergarten curriculum? So we want to also support the parents in transitioning to the kindergarten once you finish, your child finishes our program. And I've been explaining that how our play group program will lay a foundation for your children to be prepared for our kindergarten. And you know, when the children come to the play group setting, they actually start to relax and feel comfortable in a school setting. So this all helps when they are actually applying for the kindergarten, and they come into the kindergartens for the interviews, because they sort of had a trial at the play group. And the play group is like mini lessons about what we will do in the interview also. So the children seem to be more relaxed. We can really tell the children that have been attending the play group before. And however, having said that, there is a separate application to Victoria Educational Organization's kindergartens. So unfortunately, it's not guaranteed that you will be given a place. We do have historically, over the past 2 years, a high percentage of our Victoria Playpark applicants have applied, and a high percentage of them were admitted into our pre-nursery and our nursery K1 programs. So if you're interested in applying to the kindergartens, we do offer support with a separate admissions talk that's specifically for the Victoria Playpark parents, as well as a class observation record from the staff here to help support your application to the kindergarten. And as I mentioned, it's recommended that your children follow our play group program through the various developmental stages from infant to the big kids class to help you build up that portfolio also. And the Victoria Playpark families are also invited to select Victoria Educational Organization activities so that you can also get familiar with and get acquainted with the kindergarten and the kindergarten staff and the principals and some of our activities that we do offer at the kindergarten. So we hope that you will apply to our kindergarten as well. We'll also send out an email to everybody that has attended today to register for the experiential class. This class is a complimentary and special one-off offer to allow you, the parents, and your children who have never attended the Victoria Playpark before to get to know our teaching approach, and we want you to experience our facilities and interact with our teachers. This offer is only applicable to our applicants who have children ages 12 to 34 months and who have attended today's webinar and who have never attended our Victoria Playpark before, okay? And please remember that every child must be accompanied by one caregiver. So you can check your mailbox after this webinar today and see the registration there if you're interested. Also on September 19th, if you'd like to meet some of our principals from the kindergarten and find out more information about our kindergarten, then we will be attending the International Education Expo, and it's being held in the Cordes Hotel on the 19th of September. And our academic director, Dr. Richard Wong, will also be giving a talk there. So hope we can see you there. And that concludes our session today, but I would like to answer some questions that have come in during the session. And of course, if you have more questions, please do send them into the email address on the screen. So one of the questions that has come in today is, my son is only 2 years old. If you use 3 languages in the classroom, will he feel confused? Is it really effective? This is a question that actually we get a lot in the play group and also in the kindergarten. And it's a question I also had about my own children as they were attending. So what it looks like, as I mentioned, is that each child will come for 1.5 hours, and our sessions are divided into 3 lessons, 30 minutes each, and they're divided into 3 languages in the 3 sessions. So we have a total immersion program in those 3 sessions. So the children will just be exposed to 1 language during 30 minutes. So English and Cantonese and Putonghua over the 1.5 hours. And these sessions are all done by qualified teachers who are native speakers. And they're trained to help the children develop vocabulary because continual exposure to vocabulary will help a lot. If your child has continuous exposure with strong practice in place, then they will acquire the languages. Children are like sponges. They start to pick up the languages. I remember very clearly when my daughter came home one day and she walked into the kitchen and I was cooking and she said to me something. I didn't understand what she was saying, and then she said it again. And then I told her, I'm sorry, I really don't understand what you're saying. And then she stomped her foot and she said, I'm just asking for a banana. Why don't you understand me? So she was speaking in Mandarin and she was asking me for a banana, but I didn't speak Mandarin. It really does work. We do appreciate the parents' support also at home and continuing practicing that vocabulary with your children. You may find that your child may have some delay because they're processing in speaking all of the languages, but they will speak eventually. And they may mix up the vocabulary, and this is normal because once they attain enough vocabulary, then they'll be able to speak more. But at the beginning, if they don't have enough vocabulary, they'll mix up a little bit of the language, but that's all normal. Enjoy the process, encourage them, and of course, do lots of reading at home. You can see our curriculum has a lot of stories in it, so make sure you do practice that vocabulary at home. Okay, another question that's been given to me is, if I want my child to enter Victoria Kindergarten, joining Victoria Playpark can enhance the children, my child's chances of being accepted. As I mentioned, unfortunately, we cannot guarantee an offer because the Victoria Playpark and Victoria Educational Organization have separate admissions processes. But as I also mentioned, there's a high percentage of the applicants that are admitted to Victoria Educational Organization Kindergarten in our pre-nursery, which is the 2 to 3 year old class, or you can apply for our nursery class, which is the K1, the 3 to 4 year old program. The children are prepared well in the play group to move on to the kindergarten. And as I mentioned, we really recommend that you study from the beginning of our infant toddler program through to the big kids class and experience all of the different programs, including the transition program to move on to the kindergarten and the big kids class. So our next question is there any charge for the experiential class? The class is complimentary. We want to offer you a chance to come in for a trial class, and we want to allow you to have a chance to see what our Playpark is about before you join. And we also want you to experience our teaching with our teachers, experience the facilities, and what the setting looks like. And we'll send out an email today, as I mentioned, and this is for new applicants ages 12 to 34 months who have never attended our Playpark before. Are there any COVID measures? And what if my child cannot wear a mask to class? And this is a lot of the question that a lot of parents have. And unfortunately, at this moment, you know, there is a lot of concern around this. But I want to reassure everybody that our play group does, all of our campuses do adopt strict health measures with thorough cleaning and disinfection every day, as well as we have a lot of systems in place like the ultrasonic atomizing machines. They're placed in air purifiers. You'll see that our janitorial staff, our custodial staff, they're cleaning constantly in the campus. But we do require the parents and the children to wear masks and socks for hygiene reasons, for your own protection and the protection of others. And if your child cannot wear a mask, one idea is to, you know, during this period when you're preparing them to come, perhaps you can teach your children about putting on a mask, encourage them as you go out around, and so they start to associate wearing a mask with going out and having time with, you know, you outside the home, and this may help them adapt more quickly. Okay, so we do need your children to wear a mask, and you know, we hope that they'll be able to wear a mask when they come into the campus. It is a requirement. So if you have any other questions, please do send them on, and somebody will answer all your questions. I hope you found today's seminar useful, gathering lots of tips on coming, and we really hope to see you here soon. Thank you very much for your time.